On Sky Sports, Castleford at home to Leeds in a classic Yorkshire derby. Live and exclusive from Weldon Road. Castleford may be considered an industrial area by some, but the region is rich in history. Just down the road is Pontefract Castle, which dates back to the Norman conquest. The castle saw the imprisonment and death of Richard II after his throne was seized. It remained a stronghold for the Lancastrian armies during the Wars of the Roses. Natural history abounds in the region as well. Fairburn Ings in the Lower Aire Valley is recognised one of the best inland birdwatching sites in England. Over 170 different species can be viewed each year. But it's rugby league that holds the hearts of the locals, and the Castleford Tigers are famous for classy running football.
Ellis, he has Blackmore in support. This Kiwi can motor. Blackmore, he's got to beat Simpson. He's beaten Simpson. Magnificent try.
Darryl van der Velde's gone back to Brisbane, so local boy John Joyner takes over. He's looking now to blend Van der Velde's Australian organisation with the Castleford flair of old.
Darryl left us a lot of good players. You know, put a lot of groundwork into the club. Obviously, I'm not going to be a clone of Darryl's. I'm going to change things a little bit. What I think, I'm going to try and play a little bit more football. The players we have brought to the club are quality players. Ian Smales, Richard Russell, Tony Kemp when he comes here. They're all good footballers, so I think we should let them play.
Leeds have promised much but delivered little over the past few years, but they also can produce breathtaking rugby league.
Is this the moment for Henley? It is for Schofield.
Times may have been lean at Leeds of late, but Doug Lawton is sure he now has the squad to threaten the invincibility of Wigan.
Well, I think when I first came to Leeds, it was probably about 10 years behind Wigan. That's what I felt, in all honesty. I don't think we're that far behind now. So we're getting, the gap is shrinking rapidly.
So as the teams finish their preparations for tonight's battle, let's join our big league hosts, Eddie Hemmings and Mike Stevenson.
Well, I hope that you have summered well. Steve-O and I most certainly have done, but we're delighted to be back with you for the next 9 months, and coverage of the big league starts right here. It's the roughest, toughest game in the world, and we're going to bring you every minute of it right the way through to the end of May, when all the championships and cups will be handed out. Now,
that's right, Eddie. You will probably notice a different look about the Castleford strip tonight. This is it, the new look Castleford shirt, and you might notice that there's a bit more black and amber on it and a lot less white in the design, and it's just one of a whole host of new designs on show this season. Leeds have got a new strip which they're keeping under wraps until their first home game. They're going to be playing in their old change strip tonight, but I can tell you that the new Leeds look has got hoops on it, but it's still the old blue and yellow look. Others have even been more adventurous in their changes of design, and that's caused a little bit of disquiet in rugby league circles. Warrington, for example, are still in primrose and yellow, but they've gone for stripes, which really is a novelty in the game. And as I say, it's upset one or two people. But how about this one? This is the Castleford change strip, and you might think it's slightly garish, but believe it or not, it's been immensely popular with the fans here. And the key to all this, of course, is money. And this has sold several thousand shirts, and that means more money in the bank for Castleford. And that really is the bottom line of it all. Money in the bank. Well, new shirts on display and new faces as well. Among them, 18-year-old Matt Schultz from Humberside, who makes his debut in the Leeds lineup tonight. Matt, this must take some getting used to, being involved in this.
Oh, it's great. I tell you, I've never experienced that like this, ever. It's just, Douglas gives us a chance, and I'd like to thank him for it, really. And all our lads are brilliant, so we have to just make a good debut.
Is it difficult keeping your feet on the ground?
Oh, it is, yeah. When he told it, I hadn't sunk in yet, actually. It's hard to, well, it probably will do on the way there, on the bus on Friday, but it's hard to realise what's going to happen.
It was a difficult decision leaving Featherstone and coming to Castleford, but it's one I've made, and I'm going to prove myself at Castleford now. I've proved myself at Featherstone. I want to try it at this new club now.
What's the difference then? What do you think could make the difference to you?
I don't know, really. It's just a change of scenery. I've been at Featherstone for 6 years, and I enjoyed them 6 years, and I got to a stage where I needed a change in myself. I didn't think I was playing that well at Featherstone. I know I had a good season last year. We were in the second division, but my first division season before, I thought we were a bit lacking. So new players around me and everything, I think will go well this year.
Every season I played first grade rugby, it's getting harder all the time. The fitness levels are rising, the intensity's always getting a lot harder. And I just think that this season, Leeds have been there about. It's like an unexploded time bomb. I think this year, if we get it right, there'll be a few changes in that league positions.
I think if we can keep injury free, I think we can compete with anybody. Probably 2 or 3 injuries and we're probably struggling again. So if we, you know, and we can keep injury free, and we just need that little bit of luck.
Well, I know there's always a lot of expectations. There has been, you know, since Leeds started spending a bit of money since 1987. But again, we've got a very good squad, very strong squad. But you know, we've got to work very hard. We've done that in pre-season, and we're very optimistic about the forthcoming season. But we're not going to make promises. We're just going to go, you know, week by week and do the job, and hopefully it's going to pay off for us.
We're very confident of what's going to happen next year. I think that the new players we have got are certainly going to, you know, boost the ability of the squad. Players like Ian Smales, who we've just signed, who's a tremendous prospect and can play both in the second row and at centre. And I think Richard Russell, who's going to be a big bonus for the club from the hooking position. He showed up on Friday very, very well, and I think that he's a tremendous passer of the ball from acting half-back, and I think that's something that we desperately need.
Lee Crooks,
At the age of 52, Alan Hardesty is still in great shape. He should be, as he runs his own weights and fitness centre in Castleford. Alan went into the health business after a successful playing career at Cass and then at Leeds. He and Keith Hepworth were Castleford's dynamic duo. Alan captained Cass in their 69 and 70 Challenge Cup triumphs. He then moved on to Leeds, where he led their championship-winning side of 1973. Alan always enjoyed training. Nowadays, he spends his time getting others fit and healthy.
Alan, what is it exactly that you do here at the Alan Hardesty Centre?
Well, Bill, I opened the gym about 12 years ago, purely to cater for the old, the young, fat, the thin, and the unfit, basically. And I find that they enjoy coming. We create a good atmosphere. We keep them very well supervised, and we found that there was a need for it in Castleford, and we've been going very well ever since.
You're surrounded by photographs of your playing days, the winning sides you were in as a Castleford and as a Leeds player. It's still very much part of you, isn't it?
It is, yes. It always has been, and it always will be. In a way, it's my life. It's a weekend life, anyway. And it's a good relax for me now. I can, when I've been working hard all week, I can find that the weekend's nice to look forward to and see how Cass are going to play and who they're going to beat this year.
Well, who are they going to beat this year?
Well, I think they'll start by beating Leeds on Friday, I think, to start with. We've got John Joyner in charge now, and I'm pleased about that. We've got a local lad. He's British, which suits me, and I think he's bought well, and I'm looking forward to a good season from him.
Tonight, off with Castleford, and Castleford have at fullback Graham Steadman. Graham Steadman tonight will won the 1992 First Division Player of the Year. On the wing, it's St John Ellis, Great Britain international, won cap against France in 1991. In the centre, Simon Middleton, a try against Leeds in each of his last 2 home meetings against the men from Headingley. Alongside him, Grant Anderson, the former under-21 international. Anderson will wear 4. And in on the wing in 5 is John Ray. It's only his second first-team outing of 1993. Tony Kemp isn't here yet, so Tony Smith gets the standoff half role. Smith will wear 6, and alongside him, the Castleford scrum half is Mike Ford, former Wigan and Oldham player who is such an important link in this Castleford team. The Castleford captain is Lee Crooks, the big prop forward, and Crooks tonight will wear 8. And then the first of the Castleford new signings for this season, Richard Russell, the man that they bought to hook from Oldham. Dean Sampson completes the front row. Dean Sampson will wear 10. It's Tony Morrison who is in 11. In the second row, Morrison has missed only 2 matches since his move from Swinton in the past year. Alongside him in the second row is Ian Smales, the former Featherstone man brought here to Weldon Road for a 6-figure fee only last week. And the lineup completed by Tawera Nikau, the New Zealand international. He's the loose forward who wears 13 and ever present in the Castleford team last year. And his coach, the new coach at Castleford, is John Joyner. Good crowd is coming in here to Weldon Road for this Yorkshire derby, the big kick-off of the big league here on Sky Sports tonight. Not only have they come to see Castleford, they've come to see Leeds as well. Leeds provide the opposition. Let's take a check on how Doug Lawton lines his men up tonight. Leeds have Alan Tate at full-back, the Great Britain international. It'll be a real battle between him and Graham Steadman tonight. Jim Fallon is on the wing. 2 tries against Castleford destroyed the Tigers' Cup quarter-final hopes last season. It's a New Zealand double act in the centre. Kevin Iro was 3. And alongside him, Craig Innes, the former All Black who has really set the British scene alight, and he is in 4. And Simon Irving is on the wing for Leeds in 5, the 26-year-old, 7 tries in the last 8 matches of last season. Gary Schofield is fit to start the season off at standoff half for Leeds. He's in 6. And alongside him, the partnership that Doug Lawton hopes will do so much for the men from Headingley, Andy Gregory. Leeds have been busy in the transfer market. They have signed Neil Harmon from Warrington. Harmon making his debut at prop tonight for Leeds. And the hooker is James Lowes. Grabbed his first Leeds try against Castleford on Boxing Day last season. Ian Scott makes his debut. The former Workington Town man completes the front row. He's in 10. And it's Gary Mercer, the New Zealand international, who played in all 3 tests against the Aussies this summer. He's in 11. And Matthew Schultz, the debut man, after impressing against Batley pre-season, he too takes his place in that Leeds pack. And the team is captained by Ellery Hanley. 34 tries last season, 40 tries in exactly 50 appearances for Leeds. And the coach at Headingley is Doug Lawton. His first match in charge.
If you can get a mixture of some of the things Daryl taught us, Australian type of football and the English type of football, I think we could have a really good side.
You've got a great one to start with against Leeds, who gave you a bit of a time last season, didn't they?
They did, yeah. They beat us. We played them 3 times. They beat us 3 times. Obviously, it's a local derby. Every game's different, and we hope to get onto a good setting.
What sort of match do you think it might be?
It'll be a very hard physical game. Both sides like to play football. Both sides have got a lot of good footballers in the team. So obviously, I hope it's a cracking game.
Consistency has been a Leeds problem, hasn't it? How do you achieve that?
It's not a massive. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter who the coach is or what. At the end of the day, when it comes down to the wire, it's going to be the best players that win the game. So my job has been to get the best players I can to Leeds. Now, if you've got players who aren't good enough, they're going to crack under pressure, and they're not going to be consistent. Because to be a top-class pro in the modern-day game, with all that goes on it, with television and the media and all that as well, more than it ever used to be before, it's a tall order. It's got to be special kind of people. Well, we're getting more of them around the club every year.
And isn't it great?
Stud or not, some of them have opted for rubber-soled boots, others have gone for a metal stud, but short ones, so it's very firm indeed. And the weather's looking good as well. We're going to have a bit of broken cloud, but it should be mainly dry. A very light wind, in fact you can hardly feel any wind at all, so kickers aren't going to have a problem. And the temperature, very mild indeed. It feels almost warm at 9 degrees. So things really looking in just about perfect condition.
And I will echo those sentiments from Bill Arthur. Steve Kirk, the groundsman here at Castleford, has done a wonderful job. As we just look again at the Castleford side, look out for Lee Crooks, Smith and Ford, the half-backs, they're going to be important. And of course Steadman against Alan Tate, the full-back. Battle with the New Zealand tests coming up in the autumn. It's Steadman, Ellis, Middleton, Anderson, Ray, Smith and Ford, Crooks the captain, Russell, Sampson, Morrison, Smales and Nikau. Leeds in their change strip, all white, have Tate at full-back. Watch out for, as I say, for that battle between him and Steadman. Fallon, Iro, Innes and Irving, Schofield and Gregory, Harmon, Lowes, Scott, Mercer, Schultz and Hanley, the captain. A perfect evening for rugby league. The substitutes for Castleford, it's Andy Fisher and Martin Kettridge. 2 forwards on the bench for Castleford. For Leeds, the young teenager, another of the young breed at Headingley, Graham Holroyd at number 14. And Steve Parrish, the man who didn't play throughout last season, first-team football for Batley, but he's come here to Leeds to resurrect his career. And a big night means the top official in the game, John Connolly of Wigan, the referee of the year after just 3 years in the middle of matches in the big league. Great atmosphere here, perfect evening, excellent conditions. Gary Schofield with new headgear. First time that Schofield has worn the scrum cap in the big league. And Mike, we're back in business.
Excitement plus. You mentioned Gary Schofield. I'm quite positive that he really will be looking for a great season. I just get that feeling that Leeds and Castleford will have big years, but they must get off to a good start.
So it's Leeds who get this game underway, and both these sides really have got a spring in their heels. They know it's so important to get their season off to a flying start, and you can expect the tackling early on to be ferocious. The two sides have been warming up for the Stones Bitter Championship for the past 2 or 3 months, and both coaches, when I spoke to them this week, they are in eager mood, full of anticipation, waiting for this campaign that lies ahead. Big things are hoped for both these clubs.
And a lot of responsibility will fall upon the forwards. Every team has to rely, and of course, on the speed of the backs, but if the forwards don't start taking control, moving forward, then it's all to nothing.
Jim Fallon of Leeds grounded. It's now with Gregory. Gregory trying to release Ian Scott, but not the best ball. It's dropped.
You can see on the replay there that Scott was used as a dummy runner. A little bit of misunderstanding there. Gregory not too happy, and rightly so. But that's to be expected with a new player in your ranks.
Ford gets the ball back and he feeds his centre, Grant Anderson. Anderson is stopped by Ellery Hanley. Stedman to the prop forward, Dean Sampson. Must say I like that new Castleford strip. Very distinctive, as so many of the clubs in the big league will be this season. The hooker is Richard Russell, but he lost it. But did he get interfered with at the play of the ball? I think he did, and Hanley's been penalised.
Hanley says that, who me? But you see quite clearly there, though it was pretty well milked. The second rower did a good job there. But the rule states that once you've tackled, you've got to get out of the way. There's the lead skipper. He's not too pleased with the referee, Mr. Connolly. A few words also. Good chance here for Castleford to open the scoring.
It's going to be Lee Crooks, the Castleford captain. 116 successful goal kicks last season. The 29-year-old with 18 international caps to his credit. And Crooks will take a few seconds longer yet to settle himself. First kick of the brand new campaign. You say it's important for these two sides to get off to a winning start. Important for the kickers too, to get their sights in early on. Here comes Crooks, that's the angle he has. And he's missed it. Relief for the Leeds supporters. Despair for the Castleford fans. It stays at 0-0.
Well, he normally has those for breakfast, the skipper of Castleford, Lee Crooks. He'll be very disappointed with that effort.
The ball holds up on the lush turf for Graham Stedman. Stedman is stopped by Iro, Hanley and Gregory. And they're pushing the fullback back towards his own line. That's good chasing by Leeds. Here's Lee Crooks. Busts through one, but can't get away from the next set of defenders. Ford with the ball to Nick Howe. Good tackling by Leeds. Ford again. That's a good ball, but excellent tackling by Neil Harmon, the former Warrington man. on Tony Morrison. But here come Castleford again. This is Middleton. Great tackle by Innes. Nickau tries to dink the ball over the top. It bounced off a Leeds arm. Will this be play on? They've got men in support here. Castleford, touchdown by Sinjanellis. Referee, though, has ruled knock on. No try. Knock on.
Well, I don't know why. That looked as though it came off a Leeds player. The replay, Nickau didn't make a good kick of it, but I thought that Mercer had got his hands to it. The ball comes away, and the winger should have gone in for 4 points. He can't believe it. Not surprisingly, it wasn't the best kick, but it turned right for him. Well, that looked all the world for me a good try.
Referee John Connolly then. Controversy here in the opening 5 minutes of the season. The referee of the year, and he's wiped out a Castleford try. James Lowes is the dummy half, and that's Harman. What a collision between Harman and Sampson. Well, you talk about big hits.
With no intention of going low for the tackle, it was shoulder to shoulder.
Schofield with a long pass out to Kevin Iro. Ellery Hanley down on all fours almost over there. I know that before the match he was doubtful with a calf injury. Passed a late fitness test to play in this match. Schofield with the kick downfield. Stedman collects. Gives it to Sinjanellis. Leeds supporters claiming that was a forward pass. Referee says play on.
Both sides very excited. A lot of nerves out there. Defence is very quick to move up. Pretty hard for the referee John Connolly to try to get them back. They're eager to get at each other.
This is Ian Smales of Castleford. 6-figure fee, changed hands with Featherstone just a week ago, and Smales here now making his debut. Nickau unloads the ball brilliantly. This is Tony Smith. He gets it to Sampson. Sampson can't hold on, and Hanley has it back for Leeds. Takes on the charge.
Well, a good play there by number 6, Tony Smith. Had support. Nickau and Smith combining well. Just that last pass going to ground just shows you how nervous these two sides are.
Great tackling, though, from both defences here. James Lowes, the hooker, just clapping his hands at dummy half. This is Ian Scott, the man who helped Workington Town to the Divisional Premiership final at Old Trafford last May. Now he's here, well and truly in the big league, alongside people like Innes and Schofield. Gets the ball away one-handed to Tate, but what a brilliant tackle by Sinjanellis.
Swarm in defence there. That's a changeover, but that was wonderful play there.
Ready, beat.
Stedman showing some strength, surrounded by 4.
No, we're not. 3-5.
Richard Russell at dummy half for Castleford. The new man for Cass, one of 2 or 3 new signings. Nickau is hauled back by the collar. Referee Connolly shakes his head. It's no penalty.
Well, you can see quite clearly that the first impact was below the shoulders. Good refereeing.
This is a great run from Johnny Ray on that far side. Good ball inside too. But just couldn't hold on to it, Mike Ford.
Well, a great run there by Ray. But Mike Ford in support at all the time. He just took his eyes off the ball at the last moment.
James Lowes is in support with Fallon. Up to halfway and eventually bundled to the ground by Anderson. What a great start to the big league season this is. Gregory to Innes. Both sides looking to play attractive open football. And Irving eventually brought to ground. Schofield now. Looks for the runner. The runner arrives and then he gets the ball away to Tate. Tate is there. So is Hanley. Magnificent try for Leeds. And Hanley is off the mark. Quicksilver attack from Leeds. Finished off by the man who ran in 34 tries last season.
Yes! Super play from Leeds. Schofield, the initiator. The long ball out wide. They tried to get to him, but good play by Scott. Pull back Tate, linking in, and the skipper. Great support play in a great season last year. in for the first try. That really was superb support play. You see from the wide angle, you notice that the Castleford defence, they moved up slowly, they held back. Two men went for Scott, none went low, both high, the late pass. That's how the fullback should chime in. This is how you support the play, and this gives you the resulting 4 points.
And go.
Super stuff.
Ready for.
Ellery Hanley, he has his critics, and he came back almost chronically injured from the tour last year, but he is back again this season with a vengeance, and Simon Irving makes the 4 points into 6.
Scoreline correct? Super.
Leeds are ahead by 6 points to 0.
No telestrator? No, we don't do it. No telestrator.
Got it ready.
Excellent start for the men from Headingley. Just the start that Doug Lawton and their supporters will have wanted. Super attack, Quicksilver, and finished off perfectly by Ellery Hanley.
Wonderful to see attacking footballer like that, but good support play by Alan Tate. Excellent stuff. What a start, the 93-94 season.
Well, Leeds finished 5th last season. It was Doug Lawton's second year in charge. And he obviously was aware of the weakness in the forward pack, and he's brought in the likes of Ian Scott and Neil Harmon, and Richie Ayres has been signed from Widnes. Ayres, who's got 6 matches to serve in suspension after his sending off at Wembley for Widnes the back end of last season. But if they can maintain this start that they've made to the season, well, the signs are good, Mike.
Very much indeed, but I'm sure that Castleford learned a very valuable lesson there. The fact is that this prop forward, Ian Scott, you can't afford to go high on him because he has the ability to get the ball away.
Stedman bringing the ball away, but referee John Connolly, in consultation with his touch judge, said that St John Ellis knocked on. Well, he was surrounded by 3 Leeds players, wasn't he? And it went backwards too.
Well, a pretty tough call there for Castleford. Things not going his way. Had a try disallowed just a few moments earlier.
Here come Leeds again. Innes and Schofield. Schofield electing to run the ball himself. Gets it out to Jim Fallon. Fallon has Tate. Tate was looking to get the ball round the corner. Couldn't do so. Took the tackle instead. This is James Lowe's. Good progress from Lowe's, and a bit of argy-bargy. Hanley from dummy half on his own, such strength. They take a good tackle from Anderson to bring him down.
Good play there by the lead skipper. They could see that the Castleford centre Anderson had failed to move up quick.
Ian Scott again. He's looked impressive in the opening 12.5 minutes here at Weldon Road. Schofield now. Good long ball to Innes. Innes with the strength. Heading to the corner. Innes. Oh, is he in? Let's take a look what the referee says. It's a try. Innes with the second Leeds try. Great strength from the former All Black. What a start for the men from Headingley.
Wonderful play by Leeds. It all came about by the fact that their skipper, Hanley, had taken him on the blind side, and then they elected to get the ball out wide. And you try to go high. Simon Middleton did that on this fella here, and the New Zealander has got plenty of strength. Look at the ball here from Schofield. Out to the big fella. Look at the handoff there. They couldn't go down low enough. He really has got great strength. That is a good try.
Craig Innes, former All Black, he trialled for the Kiwis in the summer for the Test series against Australia, but remarkably he didn't make it. Injuries, I think, played a part in that. But Simon Irving, with this chance from far out on this touchline to turn the Leeds 10 into 12. Difficult angle, but he kicked well last season. He's close, but not quite close enough. So a great start for Leeds. They lead here 10-0.
You see the experience of Schofield, brings the man in, straight through onto the gap, and the strength does the rest. He really is a strong boy, this, through the dummy. But I'm afraid that Simon Middleton will have quite a few nightmares over that one. He tried to go a little bit too high, and you just can't afford to do it against a big man like Craig Guinness.
And from the kick-off, Tawera Nikau collects the ball for Castleford. He's just going asleep slightly there. So it's Castleford, and remember, this is John Joyner's first competitive match in charge, and they're trailing by 10 points to 0. The new coaching setup at Weldon Road, Joyner and Alan Agar. And just at the moment, things not going their way. They've had a try disallowed, but can they engineer something here now on this touchline with Middleton? Innes with the tackle. Now it's the big man, Dean Sampson. Richard Russell, the dummy half. Castleford working that ball towards the Leeds posts. Russell again for Castleford to Mike Ford. Steadman is there. The ball goes out wide to Anderson. And Hanley has got the ball back for Leeds.
A little bit at 6s and 7s, I'm afraid, this Castleford outfit. They're obviously trying to get the moves. There you can see Anderson, the centre, trying to release that ball. A little bit of panic just setting into them, but we can see that Mike Ford, Tony Smith running at the angles, but quite frankly, Castleford do not have the runners.
Well, what a start this is for Leeds, who have failed to win their opening fixture for the past 4 years. The last win on the opening day came in 1988 against Featherstone Rovers. But they're on the way here. But can Castleford claw it back? There's a long, long way to go in this match yet. Steadman, though, slips on the lush turf, collects it 10 metres from his own line. A keen and intense local derby, and Leeds penalised for holding down in the tackle. Gary Mercer picked out by referee Connolly.
Well, it took all the time for the referee John Connolly to put the penalty on there. I thought it was assisted a little bit by Mike Ford's demonstration that he couldn't get up and play the ball.
Castleford will try again, then that's the halfway line. John Ray grounded. Richard Russell, the dummy half. Nikau called for it. The ball, though, bounced off the head of Morrison and then bounced back into Castleford's arms, but the referee says it's knock on.
Yes, well, the Leeds player made no attempt to get to that ball. It just came off Ian Scott's head. Nothing he could do about it. He did not play the ball played him. Crowd not too happy about it. It's a rule that does confuse quite a few of the fans. But on this occasion, John Connolly is correct.
Leeds with the feed then. Gregory finds Alan Tate. Alan Tate on a super run down the touchline. He's still going. Hanley's there. Oh, here's another try, Leeds. Hanley has 2. Leeds have 3. And Leeds have started the 1993-94 season like they mean business.
Working the blind side is very rare. You see this in the modern day of rugby league. Very tight up there, but there you can see 3 Castleford players, quite pedestrian compared to the fullback Tate. And there the man in support for the second occasion. That is a well-worked try, but I'm afraid it will give nightmares to the Castleford coach, John Joyner. Would-be attempts to tackle, they really were at 6s and 7s. It's something that irritates me, I'm afraid. Steadman far too late. The fullback standing up in the line in defence. Leeds took full advantage, used the blind side and paid off with 4 more points.
Ellery Hanley, his second try of the new season, and the season not yet 20 minutes old. And Simon Irving with yet another conversion attempt. 1 from 2. And this one far out on the opposite touchline.
Flips it left-footed across the face of the posts. Castleford 0, Leeds 14.
As I mentioned before, they took the blind side. There's a fullback up in that line. If he makes it, you don't make. If you break the tackle, you miss one. There he goes. There was 4 would-be attempts there. You have to make sure it's just open running, super support play. Castleford have a lot to do in their defensive pattern. It's been ripped to shreds, I'm afraid.
And Alan Tate, the man you just saw there with a touch of blood flowing from the eyebrow, he has started the season in terrific form.
Sure has. 2 breaks, 2 tries have come from it. That's a way to build your confidence.
And referee's whistle goes. He spotted a little knock on there from Matthew Schultz, the teenager making his debut, just getting a pat on the head from Ellery Hanley to console him.
Well, he tried to get up too quick and play that ball, didn't he? He just lost control of it. He'll learn.
Stedman, the dummy half. Nick Howe was the runner. Russell from dummy half to Lee Crooks, the captain. What can the skipper do here to inspire his men to a fight back? Midway through the first half of the first game of the season, 14 points adrift. Morrison was the runner. Good Leeds defence, though. That was a question mark against Leeds for much of last season. Russell, hauled back by Lowes and Hanley. Nothing on there for Castleford. Iro swallows it up, clears up the danger. Leeds will try and work that ball away from their own try line. And a very interested spectator, no doubt, is one of the Leeds new boys. Richie Ayres from Witness. He's talking now with Bill Arthur.
Yes, Richie's having to sit this one out because of suspension, and you probably can't believe what you're watching.
Oh God, obviously, yeah, you know, 14 points up in the first 21 minutes. Fantastic start for the guys. No, defence is holding out, and the attack obviously is proving a point.
And you've also had 1 or 2 touches of luck as well.
Yeah, obviously, there's always luck in this game, you know, and we've had the rub of the green at present, but let's hopefully it can stay out to the end of the match and hopefully 2 points for ourselves.
But without, I mean, that's taking possibly something away from the side. It's 2 cracking finishes, really.
Well, obviously, great finishing off from Ellery Hanley, the guy who does everything, you know. It's just basic football at the end of the day.
You wish you were out there, I bet.
Oh, I'm tingling. It's horrible. I hate sitting down here, but obviously the guys are doing the job out there, and let's hope they can finish it.
Well, he's got to sit and watch for the next 5 games after this one, Richie Ayres. But Leeds, with the youngsters and with the new signings and with the old hands like Hanley and Schofield and Gregory, they could be, and I know it's very early days in the new season, but they could be building something here.
Well, as you say, Eddie, it's far too early to start saying that they're going to be world beaters, but on this performance, the thing that's really impressed me is that they're very keen in defence. They're not allowing Castleford to settle into any attacking pattern, but apart from that is that it's a long time since I've seen a Leeds side with so much enthusiasm to back up the man that's carrying the football.
Yes, they're dedicated, aren't they? But Castleford will try, but that's a forward pass. Forward pass from Ford.
Obstruction, Eddie. I think he's given an obstruction there. See Ford there, he's used Crooks and gone round the back of him, not allowing Mercer the chance to get to him. Bit of cruel luck there. Shake of the head of the Leeds, the Castleford skipper Lee Crooks. He knows that he's done wrong. Ford using the man round him. It's just not going their way, is it?
It was crossing, you're right, and it was a forward pass too. Could have been picked for either there. Leeds back in possession though with Irving. James Lowes is there. So too is Ian Scott. Lowes again, clapping his hands, wanting to get on with the job. Schofield to Hanley. Hanley on a hat-trick already here. Schofield again, lovely little reverse pass, finds Craig Innes. Gregory. On the charge was Harman. Gregory elected to find Schofield. Long raking pass from Schofield to Irving, who drops it. And the referee's called a scrum for the knock-on.
Tried to dig the heels in there, did Irving, trying to get from stopping, pushed in a touch, but definitely lost that football.
Castleford trying to force the pace, but they've made 6 handling errors to Leeds 3. Leeds have certainly forced the pace with that 14-0 scoreline. Morrison, that's a nice run from the second rower. And Castleford have had more of the football, but Leeds have done better in terms of scoring.
Well, full credit to this Leeds defence. They've moved in very quickly. They've been forced errors that Castleford have brought up.
Castleford, the man in possession, really only has one option at the moment, and that's to take the tackle. Very little support. When it does arrive, it comes in the wrong direction. Steadman with the kick downfield, right down the throat of Alan Tate. And Tate will launch another Leeds attack from the full-back position.
Well, he wouldn't be pleased with that, Graham Steadman. That was an awful kick, right down the throat, as you mentioned, to Alan Tate. He's been dangerous so far in the first 30 minutes of this game.
Harman with a strong run. That's what they paid the money to Warrington for. And Mercer stepping out of the challenges, having the time to release the pass to Lowe's.
I'm afraid this Castleford defence is having a lot of problems. They're not moving up as one. There's a lot of gaps appearing. Look at them, they're not arriving together.
Gregory finds Schofield, who darts through the hole, and then his old pal Lee Crooks is the man who brings him down. Hanley trying the drop goal, and he's got it. A one-pointer for Hanley.
All about using your brains in sport, especially rugby league. No pressure applied to him. They probably didn't expect that the loose forward from Leeds would take that option. That could be a vital point if Castleford do decide to fight back. They've got the stars to do it, but at the moment they've just got to get this defence sorted out.
Well, that indeed is a rare one-pointer from the Leeds captain, the 1993 Headingley Player of the Year, Ellery Hanley. And he stretched the advantage to 15 points, and as you say, Mike, that could be so vital come the end of the day, should the Castleford bandwagon start to roll. Harman, such strength. Warrington will miss him.
Well, you see the difference there quite clearly, that Leeds are being allowed to run. Also, the opportunity to get ball out wide. Once it goes past 2 players, Castleford seem to stop instead of moving up forward.
It's a tremendous diagonal kick from Schofield. Steadman collects it. But Leeds there made, what, 35, 40 metres with just one kick. And Castleford playing the game now in their own 20-metre mark. Out of it now with St. John Ellis. This is a great run from Ellis. He's got Hanley after him. He's got to get round Tate. And he couldn't get away from Alan Tate, the fullback.
Great play from Ellis. That should lift the spirits.
Yes, the encouragement that Castleford needed, perhaps. Russell, the dummy half. Crooks now on the charge. Support arrives, and well unloaded by Lee Crooks. Russell again. Back to Nicow. Nicow, can he get through the gap himself? He's brought to ground by Hanley. Last tackle for Castleford. And Nicow had the legs taken from him by the Leeds captain. That'll be penalty to Castleford.
Well, not only a penalty, I reckon he deserves 10 minutes in the sin bin. That was a deliberate professional foul. Look at this. He could see that Nicow was about to tap the ball forward. There was no one in front. He is allowed to do that. And now that is a professional foul. In my book, Mr. Hanley should have gone for 10 minutes. That was quite deliberate.
Referee John Connolly gives him the benefit of the doubt, but it gives Lee Crooks the chance to get Castleford's scoring off the mark. It was St. John Ellis's run really that started all that and gave Castleford the opportunity to
wreak a bit of havoc in the Leeds defence. I'm sure they'd have preferred to go over for the 4 points, but Lee Crooks here now can perhaps give them at least 2. And this time he's kicked it. So Crooks gets his season off the mark, gets Castleford rolling on the scoreboard, 15-2 Leeds. This is the Ellis run, Mike, that started all that trouble for Leeds.
He's had a top game, Ellis. Beautiful stride there, but full credit to Leeds. They had numbers there. Look at this ball and all tackle from Tate. Excellent stuff. But look at the traffic around him with the Leeds colours. They really are keen. But I still have to dwell upon the fact that the Leeds skipper, Ellery Hanley, would have a little bit of a wry smile, having given just 2 points away when it could have been a possible 6.
Gary Schofield restarts then. And here now is Ian Smales. I just wonder whether that run from St John Ellis is just the encouragement that Castleford need. They must be demoralised after the opening half hour here.
Well, they've never been allowed to get into an attacking pattern, really. After the first try that they had disallowed, the Leeds defence has moved up, and they really are causing a lot of problems in this Castleford attack.
Smith with the ball out to Nickow, Nickow to Middleton. Middleton all wrapped up by Innes. Nickow took the ball off Middleton then, although the Castleford players and supporters claim the ball was attempted to be stolen by Leeds. Tate's underneath it. His positioning so far tonight has been faultless.
There you see the defence, they're pretty keen, aren't they? Slip the ball away. They're just not allowing Castleford any room to move at all. But I'm sure that their coach, Eddie John Joyner, will have plenty to say at the half-time break. It's been a very poor display. We haven't seen much of Ian Smales, their new signing.
Oh, that's great play from Iro. He finds James Lowes. Leeds so eager. Hanley, the dummy half. Gregory, buzzing around like a little bee, finds Gary Schofield. Schofield, a short ball to Iro. Back in support is Schofield again. This will give the legion of Leeds supporters a lot of encouragement. There's no doubt about that. Gregory dabs the ball forward. Stedman collects it on his own line. Gets away from one. Can't get away from Mercer, though. Innes is having a tough game. Great tackle on Mike Ford. Crooks drops it. And that really sums up Castleford's day so far. Mercer on the charge. 5 more to go. Leeds are so close with Gregory. Now with Hanley. Swats one away. But the referee says, crossing again. Obstruction by Leeds.
Referee John Connolly deeming that the Leeds skipper, well, I thought the man had gone through there, but perhaps he's right. Tony Morrison, the Castleford second rower, perhaps was impeded.
Sampson with the run, brought down by Ellery Hanley, and we can confirm it is a rare drop goal by Hanley, his first in Leeds colours. He dropped 2, though, during his Wigan days. 15-2 to Leeds. Nickow. That's better from Nickow. Smales trying to get round Schofield. Nickow again to Mike Ford. Ball is reversed pass to Tony Smith, and at the second attempt it's Middleton who clings on for Castleford. They need a bit more sting in their attack to the Tigers. That's a lovely ball from Crooks. And that was a great ball from Crooks, but a wonderful tackle from Tate. The ball's come free. A real melee of players over the Leeds line. Referee John Connolly allowing it to sort itself out. And Leeds come up with the ball and escape. Great tackling by Tate, and it's Tate who has the ball.
Oh, great football from both sides. That was vintage Crooks, wasn't it? Ball round the man, just couldn't get through. Oh, this is champagne football. But as you mentioned, Eddie, a wonderful tackle by Alan Tate. Super stuff on show tonight.
Yes, this is the sort of stuff that you can expect for the next 9 months here on the Big League as we follow the Stones Bit of Championship right the way through to the end of the season.
Very interesting to note also, Eddie, that when Leeds are on the attack, that their little halfback, Andy Gregory, so often criticised for running crab-like across, is running more towards the defence. They're sucking him away and then getting the ball away. They're trying to get the ball out wide. It's excellent play from Leeds.
Harman and Hanley doing the tackling on Grant Anderson. Now Russell has decided to have a little run himself from dummy half. Try and take advantage of the 10 yards that the referee is policing between the two sides. Here's Crooks again.
Well, for Castleford to get back in this game, they've got to start getting up and playing the ball a lot quicker than that. I know they've been harassed by the Leeds players, but they've got to play this ball quickly and try to take that advantage.
Nick Howe tries to get the ball away to Middleton. It bounces off the centre's chest and Iro has it. Gregory now allows Matthew Schultz, the teenager, to have a run up to halfway. Castleford's handling error count is creeping up to unacceptable levels for their coach John Joyner. This is Gary Mercer, Kiwi international. Good strong run. Schofield was there to pick it up first bounce. Now Tate, Iro, the beast sets off. And the touch judge on the far side has come on with his flag raised. He saw something, referee's whistle has sounded.
Wonderful support play. It's in the back play, I do feel. A few words being spoken.
Yes, Grant Anderson receiving the attention of the officials, and Lee Crooks is being pulled out as well. I think it's something that went on behind the play. Ian Scott, I think, is the man who's receiving treatment. Or was it on Alan Tate? Let's have a look. We can just see it here, I think, in...
Yeah,
oh, there it is, on Alan Tate.
And it was a pretty hefty one, too. He didn't miss.
Schofield with the head guard. The legacy of the surgery he had on his injured ear during the summer. Tells me he'll be wearing it from here on in. Harman bounces off his knees. Castleford escape. Ian Smales has it for them.
Harman took both eyes off the ball there. He was looking more intent to see where the defenders were coming at him.
Here's Sampson gritting his teeth. Approaching half-time, Leeds with a big advantage, 15-2. Castleford, no doubt, can't wait to get into the dressing room and get some words of encouragement from their coach, John Joyner. It was Tony Smith's ball that was not of the best. Could only be hacked forward, and Tate read the situation perfectly again for Leeds. Here's Simon Irving.
Well, a few breaks that Castleford have made. They really have panicked to get that ball away. And they would have been better served to perhaps go down with the ball and then set up. But they really are on the rack at 15 points to 2.
Hanley took a swipe as he went down then from Tony Morrison. Gregory now. In his call for the ball, ran straight through the tackle of Smith. Found Schofield. Schofield somehow keeping going. Last tackle. Well, it's the last tackle as far as we're concerned, but referee John Connolly hasn't indicated. Now he will. And we make this tackle number 7, or rather number 6. Schofield with a drop goal attempt, charged down.
Good play by Castleford. They moved up very quickly there. One of the few occasions, but it really is in this one line of defence that it's causing a lot of problems.
Crooks. His pride will be dented. Former Leeds man, of course, Lee Crooks. Mike Ford wants to get something going. St John Ellis came inside. Ford was sandwiched and brought to the ground. Referee says, quite legally, and it's a knock-on.
Well, he tried to get the ball back inside, and it came off the arms of Innes.
And that's the last action of this first half, and what a blistering first half it's been for Leeds. 15 points to 2. The tries from Hanley with 2, and Innes, and a drop goal from Ellery Hanley thrown in for good measure. Leeds have certainly taken the eye. They have come out and they have posted a notice that perhaps something is happening at Headingley. We'll be keeping up to date with our crosswords, the solutions and the clues. Castleford are trying to keep up to date with Leeds here. Hanley and Innes with the tries, Irving and Hanley with that drop goal, 15-2. I'm sure that John Joyner will have had lots of words to say to his Castleford side. First time, of course, he has faced competitive opposition in the form of arch rivals Leeds, and 15-2 at half-time, not the best start that Joyner would have hoped for. The match facts, do they tell us anything? Well, tackling Sherd just about even Stephen, and the scrums, penalties, Castleford conceded 4 to Leeds' 2, but the handling errors really, that tells its own story. Castleford have made more than twice as many as Leeds, although they have seen the football for a little longer in that first half. But Ellery Hanley, who has now led his men back for the battle of the second half to come, really looks like he has got the bit between his teeth again. 2 tries, 34 last season. And he came back from the tour, of course, to Australia with his career in some disarray, but he really has picked up the pieces and has come back with a vengeance. And what a night for the man on the left of your screen there, Doug Lawton, the Leeds coach. Spoke to him earlier on this morning, and he was not terribly pleased with the way things were going, purely and simply because Hanley was struggling with his calf injury, but about 2 hours later he was buoyant, he was full of it, and he is obviously enjoying what he's seen here tonight. Great way for him to start, great way for Leeds to start, and Castleford are not there. And Mr. Schofield showing us that he is wearing the scrum cap purely and simply when the game is in progress. And Castleford's delay is caused, we're told, by someone changing their boots. They'll be out in a moment, but no doubt Mike John Joyner taking all the time in the world to try and read the riot act to his men.
Yes, as we mentioned at the half-time break, he would have had plenty to say. Let's hope that it's constructive, and let's hope that they can sort this defensive problem that has been on display in the first 40 minutes. Let's not take anything away, though, from the Leeds attack. As we mentioned, they are a lot of spring in their action. They seem a lot more keener than perhaps we saw at certain points through last season.
Well, the Leeds supporters are delighted with what they've seen, and I've no doubt that in the pubs, the clubs across the country who are watching this, and everybody watching at home, know that Leeds have started off like a house on fire. The Castleford come back, led by Lee Crooks. They have a lot of work to do in this second half. But Crooks is the sort of man who can inspire his teammates to drag themselves up off the canvas and get back into this match.
Well, the most amazing part about it is that if they would have had that early try allowed, and then we saw late in that first half a beautiful pass from Crooks himself that nearly put Tony Smith over, there could only be perhaps just a few points in it. So let's not write them off at all. They have the skill, they have the
year. He's competed at the World Series. His best finish was 4th in 1989.
Mercer with a great run, and Steadman using the new boots and the new studs to good effect to bring him down. Leeds have picked up the start of this second half where they left off. Iro on the charge. Fallon was outside him. Iro takes some bringing down. Nickau eventually helping out Grant Anderson.
Well, on that first showing in the defensive line from Castleford, it appears they took no notice of their coach. They never made any attempt there.
Long pass out, this is Mercer. Mercer, ball inside. Innes picks it up off his toes, gets it out to that far side. This is Simon Irving, and Irving eventually takes the tackle. James Lowe's clapping the hands. It's Harmon, and that's the 5th tackle in this set of 6. Right at the start of this second half, Gregory with the 1-pointer, but it touched the Castleford hand. No drop goal. Touched the Castleford hand. The drop goal wiped out.
Good thinking. You will see here that Ford came to it. Well, it didn't look all that conclusive to me. He looked to be more than a few inches away from that one, but I'm not the man in charge with the whistle. The 1 point is turned down, and we remain at 15-2.
I think it was Mike Ford trying to get across to get the ball down, but remember the big championship showdown at Central Park last season when Joe Lydon had a drop goal that was disallowed for the hand of Gus O'Donnell, or the hand of Gus as it was later known. Gus O'Donnell, our pictures later showed, didn't get anywhere near it either, and I wonder whether Mike Ford really did get a touch on that. No matter, the 1-pointer has been wiped out, and Leeds are attacking down the left-hand touchline with Iro. And Iro eventually grounded on the 20-metre mark. Irving is the dummy half. This is Ian Scott.
Little bit of a punch-up in the back play there between the second rower, Tony Morrison, and James Lowe's, the Leeds hooker.
Schofield turns the ball back inside to Iro. He gets away from one, feeds Schofield. Schofield has Fallon. John Ray wraps Fallon up, and they drag the Leeds man into touch. That's better defence from Cass.
Much improved. No chance there. Winger just taken away. I just got the impression there that Schofield was running at the angle, trying to perhaps to bring the wingman back inside. Jim Fallon having no chance there, and for once there was a lot of defenders for Castleford.
And there's the little warning to James Lowe's and Tony Morrison, picked up by Steve-O and picked up by touch judge and referee. Referee just saying, just watch yourselves, fellas, calling time back on, scrum down meanwhile. Well, I wonder what the two coaches have been saying during half-time. Bill Arthur has been earwigging at the dressing room doors. Bill?
Well, the message from the Castleford dressing room is that they've got to cut out the errors. They made 3 mistakes in the first half. They were punished on 3 occasions by Leeds, and they really have got to tighten up, according to John Joyner's assistant, Alan Agar, who says they were sloppy. They've got to get the defence tighter, and they've got to get things going in attack. In other words, they really have got to get their game together. A slightly more calm and laid-back Doug Lawton in the Leeds dugout says that he's happy with what he saw in the first half, but he's anticipating a big push from Castleford early in the second half, and he wants his players to really be on their guard for a Castleford comeback. Could be seeing a substitution very shortly, because Martin Kettridge has stripped off and come out of the Castleford dugout, but as yet it's not clear who he might be replacing.
Andy Gregory, meanwhile, giving the penalty away. Castleford then on halfway with Mike Ford. Gregory holding down in the tackle. Not happy that his 1-pointer was wiped out just a few minutes ago. So it stays at 15-2 to Leeds. Castleford then in possession with Anderson. Nickau on the run. Can't get away from Kevin Iro though. And indeed, Iro pushes Nickau into touch.
Well, that was very slow play from Castleford. Easily picked up by the Leeds defence. They did the simple run around. They knew exactly what was on. The strength of that man on your screen, Kevin Iro, sufficient to put the loose forward to Ira Nickau into touch. They really are going through the horrors.
Martin Kettridge has come on for Castleford, and Dean Sampson is the man who trudges wearily to the bench. And that's the first change that John Joyner has made. But there is one player in the blood bin, and it's Johnny Ray of Castleford. The winger is being treated on the touchline. He's in the blood bin. The referee has held up the white card with the red cross on it. He's in the blood bin, and he's immediately out of the blood bin. Fallon and John Ray back out of the blood bin immediately, having had the blood wiped from his face, in on the tackling on Fallon. But he was sent to the blood bin by the referee.
Well, there we've seen the substitute, Martin Kettridge, involved in 2 tackles as soon as he comes on. Obviously, John Joyner wants a little bit more enthusiasm in that department, and rightly so.
Here's Iro, gets the ball away a little carelessly to Innes. Innes collects it. This fella looks full of running, doesn't he? Ian Scott now. Playing in the Premiership final, the Leeds prop forward last season, last May, for Workington Town. And now in the big league, alongside the likes of Hanley and company. Last tackle for Leeds. They're only just over the halfway line. Oh, it's a bad ball from Gregory. Castleford collect it.
Well, he looks at his hands there. That was an awful attempt. He knows it. Oh, look at that. Any schoolboy watching, please ignore.
Castleford with the possession from the scrum. This is Grant Anderson. Tony Smith was hunting a chance on the left-hand side. Now here comes Stedman. He skips away from Tate, but he couldn't skip away from the next man in. It was Simon Irving. But Castleford are rolling forward, looking for the springboard that will get them back into this match. Richard Russell is the dummy half. Mike Ford. Now it's with Ian Smales. Smales calling John Ray in. Looked a high tackle, and the referee agrees. Smales is probably the tallest forward in the Castleford side, and he was taken very high by Iro, I think.
Slipped over the top, went for the head. Rightly so, the referee giving the penalty. It doesn't have to be any weight or any maliciousness behind it. The mere fact that you're aiming for the head is a penalising offence. But that really would have lifted the Castleford spirits. That really has been the first time that Smales has injected himself into the attack. Let's have more of that. That's the type of play that Castleford are desperately needing.
It's going to be Lee Crooks then with his third attempt at goal. Successful with one of them. None of them have been exactly what you would call easy, but a kicker of Crooks's quality, you might have expected him to have 4 points under his belt at this moment instead of 2. So Crooks it is with this penalty, 10 metres in, and it just pulls away. Little hook on it like one of my golf shots. Disappears into the crowd.
Your golf shot would go that far and disappear into a crowd?
Disappear into a tree anyway. Schofield then restarts. Underneath it, Graham Stedman. Will have been disappointed, I think, Stedman, with his first half display, particularly in the fact that he has been outshone a little by Alan Tate, his opposite number in the Leeds side. And I do believe that Malcolm Reilly is in the crowd here tonight, the Great Britain coach and Halifax coach, of course, watching many of the players who no doubt will form the nucleus of his squad to take on the Kiwis later this autumn. Nicow is one of the Kiwis he will have to try and stop. Russell is the dummy half. Mike Fall. Now Kettridge. Good short ball. Crooks is there. The ball bounces clear. Oh, and Leeds are lucky to get away with that. It's a knock-on from both sides. Referee will play the first of them.
Oh, super play from Castleford, but what they interfered there. Was he tackled before he had a chance to receive that football? Referee John Connolly says not. He's deemed that Castleford have knocked on.
Gregory feeds, Gregory receives.
Well, that's the third time that Castleford have blown the chance of getting a four-pointer.
Strong run this from Matthew Schultz. Drawing applause from the Leeds supporters. Schofield to Harmon. Schofield going up to take the return pass. Ball goes to ground. Leeds man picks it up. Bit of frustration. And there's going to be a substitution by the looks of things. And Steve Parish is going to come on for Neil Harmon. Neil Harmon has had a good, strong match here, and Parish, who didn't play in the first team for Batley throughout last season, comes in to the action, does he? Yes, Harmon comes off. He has a back injury, I believe.
Looked a bit reluctant to leave the field, though.
And so Steve Parish comes on. One debutant for another for Leeds. That pass was over the top of Stedman. Lucky for him that Tony Smith was there, but Smith immediately enveloped by Alan Tate. Stedman now to Anderson. I must say I have been impressed, Mike, with this Leeds tackling.
Not only that, but the fact that they're just rolling all over the Castleford players. They're not allowing them a chance, any chance. Look at them. Now that's penalising stuff. To me, about time too. No good shaking your head, Gary. I just get the impression that they've got away with it for quite some time. Look at that. You can't doubt that for a penalty.
Well, Castleford didn't gain too much ground, as you can see. Russell to Kettridge, who will start it all off again. Now Russell once more. This is much better from Castleford. Ford at dummy half. Bit of space out wide for Castleford to exploit if they can. Crooks opting to go down the middle. And again, they're laying all over them. Ford again to Stedman. Any space for the Castleford fullback? Perhaps there is now for Tony Smith. Through one. He's given it to Ian Smales. And Smales with a good strong run, just held up by three Leeds defenders. Ford jinking his way, trying to get through. Can't get past Gary Schofield.
Much better from Castleford. They're running under the ball. So again, Smales coming with a lot more force.
And referee John Connolly quickly in to sort out any verbals between Schofield and Ford, but Schofield has certainly been penalised by the referee for this, and John Connolly now wants a word with him. And Schofield is in the bin.
And rightly so. It's just the mere fact that Schofield was the last one to be caught. Second occasion. They've laid all over Castleford.
Chunnering all the way to the touchline, Gary Schofield, but his team now are down to 12 men and will be for the next 10 minutes.
Well, what a bad mistake there from Turan Nicow. First play of the ball, they knock on. This is a player's and coach's nightmare.
Hanley with a little half break. Nicow and Smith is there. Handling errors for Castleford into double figures. referee John Connolly unhappy with the fact that the Leeds man believes here that the ball was stolen from him. Ian Scott protesting loudly and too vigorously.
Well, at 24 years of age, Ian Scott certainly should have enough experience to realise that you can't talk to the referee. Keep your mouth shut, son. What can Castleford produce now? They're desperately needing a try. 55 minutes of this game gone. Leeds still in control.
That was Castleford's 9th penalty that they've received. Hanley all over Crooks, pushed away by Russell. Castleford, understandably, with Leeds one man down, wanting to get on with it. This is Middleton. Leeds will be trying to slow Castleford down to eat up the 10 minutes while Schofield's in the sin bin. Castleford will be trying to just up the tempo a bit. Russell to Ford. Nick Howe. And the support was there from Morrison. It's there from Anderson. That's the 5th tackle, and Castleford so close. Nick Howe trying to burrow his way over. The ball comes free. Referee and touch judge have a little glance at each other. Leeds have it back.
Well, Nick Howe took the option to take it away and had it bounced away. It was Scott that got his arms in the way. It was Hanley that actually fell on the ball. It really just is not going Castleford's way.
High tackle from Morrison. James Lowe's not happy with it. Neither's Andy Gregory happy with it. The referee holding up the clock. This Yorkshire derby is starting to bubble and boil.
Well, yes, it was high. But I think you'll find that Morrison knew it was going high and tried to get out of it. You can see the flat of the hand, he released it. He didn't follow through with it. Either way, it's a penalty. And I tell you what, this is good refereeing on this count. John Connolly saying, listen, I'm the boss. Ellery's saying the same thing. And the man that has got always something to say, Mr. Gregory, will he shut up? No.
He takes the penalty. Andy Gregory. He did run a good 20-30 metres there to get involved in the discussion with John Connolly.
Yes, he would have made a great politician, wouldn't he?
This is Steve Parish for Leeds. And now Crooks is all over the back of Parish. Referee saying he couldn't really get out of the way, allowing play to continue with Mercer for Leeds. And look at the possession that Castleford have had in this second half compared to Leeds. Well, they've bossed it in terms of possession from the very first, but Leeds it is who are ahead on the scoreboard where it really counts.
Well, I know they're leading 15 points to 2, but really that was a stupid pass attempted by Andy Gregory when they really are in the driving seat.
Mike Ford forced out wide. And Castleford now trying to attack down the blind side. That's good play. The ball hacked forward. It's a race now. Tate is there, but it was a Castleford try. And it's St. John Ellis at last. St. John Ellis imploring the crowd to really lift his team and get behind them for a big push towards victory. But St. John Ellis, with quick thinking, just dinked the ball over the top of Tate and won the race to touchdown.
Oh, the replay will show wonderful play. Excellent stuff. He could see that Sermon Irving was just in away from it. Kicks the ball inside. Gets an awful bound for Tate, but really that was well deserved. Super stuff. There you can see it was Irving that was just cut inside. Kicks through. Schultz trying to get through. Tate goes, look at this. Oh, that's a bad bounce, but it's fully deserved. Well rewarded for good effort. Super stuff.
And come on, says St. John Ellis, get behind the team now. Castleford believe that they are in the hunt for 2 points here.
So Lee Crooks with a conversion attempt at last. This is Lee Crooks. And he is waiting and taking his time, as he does on every occasion, and then ambles lazily up towards the ball, clips it, and clips it cleanly. He's kicked it this time. Hold on to your hats. We've got a match here.
Intelligent thinking by St. John Ellis. Look at the gap there. He goes searching through. Beautiful play. Oh, excellent stuff. Kicks it right there. It didn't go into touch. Tate comes through. Oh, eat your heart out, Pele. Or am I giving my age away? But that was great stuff. Wonderful play by the winger.
Yes, Steve-O would have said Pele. I would have said Ryan Giggs. Almost punctuates the age gap between the two of us, that old boy. Castleford with possession. They have just less than 20 minutes to rescue this match. Stand by for the blood and thunder now.
Well, we mentioned earlier that when Ellery Hanley potted over that one-pointer, that perhaps that could be important. You perhaps may have thought that it was tongue-in-cheek. You can never keep this Castleford side down. And it all boils down to one thing, that Gary Schofield has left the field down to 12 men, and Castleford have made them pay for it.
And the referee has wiped the tackle count clear here. A Leeds hand got to it. So Castleford will begin again. Kettridge.
This is where the combination now of Tony Smith and Mike Ford have to really start getting into it.
They're finding gaps now with Schofield off the field. Stedman. Well, but what a great tackle. A sliding challenge from Alan Tate. And Stedman is injured. Nickow, though, now trying to get the ball away. Eventually decides to cling on. Mike Ford, it looked forward. Nickow picks it up again. They're starting to believe in themselves. Ford is there once more. Middleton to Stedman, fully recovered. Looked like he was having trouble with the ankle. Now the try scorer, St. John Ellis. Jinking inside. What a run! Oh, was he taken down? Referee says no. Referee says play on. Well, controversy here as St. John Ellis chased that ball forward. Was he deliberately fouled?
Well, he kicked it through. Now, was Tate committed? It's a difficult one for any referee, even on the replay. He'll kick through. Oh, I see. I think he obstructed him. He'd all the time in the world at Alan Tate to turn or look as though he turned, but he just threw himself on the floor. That was like going down the M1 100 miles an hour, and all of a sudden they put a roadblock in front of you. That should have been a try. A penalty try for sure.
Referee John Connolly has seen it differently. It's a dropout from under their own sticks by Leeds, but here comes Stedman attacking down the left-hand side. Crooks in possession. Referee shouts that the tackle was made despite the fact that Crooks was standing up. Schofield has returned, incidentally, for Leeds. 10 minutes served in the sin bin. He's seen his side concede a try, and Castleford now have the snip of victory. 7 points the difference. It's nothing in this game. Kettridge, lovely ball to Smith. Oh, good job that the hand was there. It's a knock-on, despite the fact that Anderson touched it down. But it was a good job. A Leeds arm appeared from nowhere.
Oh, it was beautiful play. They tried to get it away. It was the wing of Jim Fallon. He took the gamble. There were two Castleford players out wide.
Nickow has possession from the back of the scrum. He's gone to within 5 metres of that Leeds line. Rip-roaring stuff this now from Cass. They've got men out wide.
The man is St. Ellis, but he's crawled his way into touch. Chance gone.
And only on the second tackle. Another wasted opportunity. You see the despair from the fellow Castleford players. Didn't have much room to move. Screaming for the inside ball. They really have bounced back with venom, this Castleford side.
Graham Holroyd is going to be introduced, and the man who comes off is Andy Gregory. Holroyd, the 17-year-old, a two-try debut on Sky against Sheffield Eagles, replaces the old campaigner Andy Gregory at 32.
Well, that was a knock-on.
Referee's copped it. Referee saw it. James Lowe's furious, throws the ball away in disgust.
Well, it certainly was, wasn't it? It was a real mess there by Schofield. And full marks to the touch judge. You look right over the other side to John Connolly. Touch judge indicated it was a knock-on. Good play.
Andy Gregory has gone straight for the touch, to the dressing rooms rather. He's gone for the bat. I don't think he was too keen to leave this battle, to surrender his place to the young teenager Holroyd. This is Stedman. Castleford know that the chance for glory is beckoning. Leeds beat Castleford 3 times last season. Looked well on the way to making it 4 out of 4. Ford with a chip ahead. Oh, that's great defence. Tate and Irving closed in on the ball and grounded it behind their own line.
Champagne football, both in attack and defence. Well positioned there, Tate. Ford elected to just push it into the corner. 2 of them went for it. Oh, this is excellent football.
What a display this is from Alan Tate, the Leeds fullback. Blood from the left eyebrow, former witness man. But my word, he has started here in terrific form, and that's got to be a boost for Malcolm Reilly and the British squad.
Well, he's shown in both attack and defence that he's equal to the task of anybody.
Mike, you picked him at half-time, said he'd had a quiet match, but Ian Smales is starting to run strongly.
Yes, he'd know himself, and that was pulled out. But he's given a knock-on. So you can see there that Mercer had the hands inside. Kettridge making a meal of it, I suppose.
It's Iro with possession for Leeds. Castleford have had a ton of possession second half. Oh, dear me, that was high. Nickow came off the worst of it. And I think Smales got a bang there as well.
I think it's Morrison that's down, is it, or Anderson? Oh, dearie me. Yes, it's Morrison. Oh, he took the gamble. I'd have that bang from our game, you know. I know the crowd love it, but someone is going to be really badly injured. Just like a human missile. No attempt to get your arms around a man to tackle him. And that's the result.
And Morrison, the man who came off worst of it. That was Nickow. As he got the ball away, though, the tackle came in from Steve Parrish, and it forced the ball out of Nickow's arms, and that's a knock-on. And after that incident with Tony Morrison, he doesn't know where he is, and he is going off. And so that means that Andy Fisher will come on for the last 10 minutes or so of this match.
Well, that's a shame, because Morrison has been one of the better players for Castleford. He's worked hard all day, both in attack and defence. He certainly didn't deserve to be finishing a game like that.
Mercer with the run out wide.
I just get the feeling, Eddie, that this is getting a little bit nasty. A little bit of a late tackle coming in. Attempt with the knees earlier.
Well, as a result of the challenge, Grant Anderson has been shown the yellow card, and look at the clock in the top left-hand corner of your screen. Unless there's a whole host of injury time, Grant Anderson will play no further part in this match. He's in the sin bin for 10 minutes. So Castleford, who are doing so well, have now got to play out the remainder of this match with a man down.
Full credit to their fight back. Castleford really did have Leeds on the ropes there. Helped, of course, by Gary Schofield spending 10 minutes in the sin bin.
Here's Schofield now. He's jinked one way, he's jinked the other, and Schofield taking Leeds to within a metre. Crooks the man who's holding him down. Ball comes back untidily to Hanley. Hanley shaping to kick. Standing in the tackles, showing his strength. Tackles completed standing up, referee says. James Lowes from dummy half. Spreads the ball wide to Holroyd. Holroyd jinking off both feet. Good defence, Castleford, to keep him out. This is the last tackle. Hanley with another attempted drop goal, but now he attempts to run it. Dinks one over the top for Fallon. Johnny Ray's there, who got the hand to it first. It was John Ray for Castleford, who touched down behind his own line.
Well, he's having a super game, isn't he, the lead skipper, Hanley. They held off him to the Castleford defence, didn't know whether it was going to kick, go for drop goal, whipped it over, but good play there by the man on your screen, John Ray.
The Castleford dropout reaches halfway, and Jim Fallon. The Leeds appeared to be coasting it at half-time, but my word, they've had a match second half.
Well, Castleford got themselves sorted out, didn't they? They tightened that defence, but more than importantly, the fact that they tried to back up the man with the ball, become a little bit more adventurous, and then started to find the gap.
Here come Leeds again, though, with Schofield. Gets the ball out to Holroyd. Holroyd wide to Irving. And Irving held up just 2 metres short. Desperate defence from Castleford. 5 Castleford players there. Schofield. Ball comes to ground. Referee's whistle sounds. Knock on.
Pretty tense stuff. Just under 8 minutes to go.
Well, Andy Gregory has been substituted, and that means that he can talk now to Bill Arthur on this pulsating match.
Andy, this really is boiling up to some finish, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It's exciting. We started off well, and Castleford got the try early on in the second half, but we've got a 13th minute there now, and hopefully we can hang on. It's 15-8 with about 8 minutes to go, so hopefully the lads, they put a lot of hard work in. Hopefully they can hang on there for the full 80 minutes.
But you didn't look too keen to come off.
No, I don't like coming off in any game. I had a bit of ice on my ankle at half-time, and you know, Dougie thought, well, you know, he's had enough out of me for this evening. It's going to be a long, hard season, and hopefully the lads can stay at there. But it's going to be Lee Creeks is slipping a few balls, and there's a few lads running off him now, so we're going to have to keep on our toes all the way through, I think.
The kick ahead from Lee Crooks is charged down. This is Holroyd. Holroyd in the chase with Stedman. Holroyd's won the race. Holroyd touches down. The man who replaced Andy Gregory has come up with the 4 points that will surely now clinch this Stones Bit of Championship opener for the men from Headingley.
Only the brave are rewarded, and that's what the youngster did. He stuck out the leg in the hope that he could catch that ball, kicked it through. Stedman went for it, and really Stedman should have put his body on the line and dived on top of that. He knows it. And the young substitute Graham Holroyd. This is where Stedman, I felt should have gone low, should have put that body on top of that football. That's the result, and that's the game. He's happy, and rightly so.
Remember Holroyd, he made a sparkling debut on Sky with 2 tries against Sheffield Eagles last season. The former Siddle amateur in Halifax. He really is about to make an impact, I feel, on the big league this season. Great try from the youngster. Lots of bravery. Simon Irving then with this conversion attempt. Clips it cleanly. whistle. 21-8 to Leeds, and Leeds look like they've picked up their first couple of points of the season.
Statement you can see equidistant to this football, and he should have thrown onto it. You don't use your feet in that position. If you try, this what can be the result. 4 points and the game is gone.
Well, Leeds supporters will be looking forward to following their team all the way through this season. Innes and Schofield play like this. They will be packing them in at Headingley, and we'll be able to take a glimpse of Leeds again in 2 weeks' time when they come up for the crunch against Wigan. Mighty Wigan against Leeds here on Sky Sports, 2 weeks tonight. Next Friday, by the way, we're at Oldham Bradford. This Sunday, we're at Wigan Hull. We're following this Championship season right the way down to Premiership Finals Day at Old Trafford on the 22nd of May. You're with Sky Sports, the Rugby League channel, and we've just seen a rare error tonight from Ellery Hanley.
You don't see this often. You can see he took his eyes off the football. Even the best players in the world sometimes do that. Been quite a few mistakes in this game, but let's not take anything away from it. It's been a tough encounter. Plenty of thrills, skills, and quite a bit of controversy too. A great start to this season.
Certainly the armchair viewers might in for a treat if all of our games this season follow the pattern of this one. It's been a great start. Lee Crooks, meanwhile, face creased up in agony. Smales, that's a lovely pass out the back door, and that was a good ball too. But St John Ellis' attempted kick forward came to naught, but the referee has pinned Leeds for a penalty here.
Yes, offside. Beautiful ball from Smales. Oh, classy play. As it continues on, St John Ellis, who's had quite a good game. There you see it comes off Tate and actually hit a Leeds player in an offside position. Can Castleford finish with at least a 4-pointer?
Well, here's Mike Ford. If anyone can, he can. But this Leeds defence, which was so wafer thin last season, Castleford have only managed to breach it once so far. Now with Smith, and Lee Crooks is hobbling off down the tunnel. Nick out infield. Almost a try for Andy Fisher, but again the Leeds defence holds firm. Mistake, and Schofield swoops. There are players out wide. Referee says forward pass from Schofield.
He can't believe it. Gary said, you're kidding. But a 21 points to 8 lead. Can take that gamble. Pretty bad position for us to make any comment on that. Connolly obviously in a better position than us.
This is Ian Smales. Through the gap goes Tony Smith. That's a good ball over the top. Middleton couldn't hang on. And that really has been the story of Castleford's night. So near, yet so far.
Well, the Castleford fans, the players, and that man, Middleton, he cannot believe it. Excellent play again from their new signing, Ian Smales. He's had a belter in the second half. Very quiet first 40, but he's made up for it. But I'm afraid it's to no avail. Too many handling errors by Castleford has created too much pressure upon themselves.
Ball bounces out, and Castleford have the possession from that scrum. Too many handling errors really from Castleford. 16-11. Mike Ford. Long pass out to Middleton. Simon Middleton taking them on his own. Couldn't get away from Craig Innes. St John Ellis, what a night he has had. Tried disallowed in the first half, scored one in the second. Could have been so different had that first 4 points been allowed. We're in time added on now for stoppages by the timekeepers. Russell Gets the ball back to Stedman. Credit Castleford, they're not giving up the ghost. That's a neat ball. This is Middleton. Middleton jinking his way through, but again, Tate, the man who comes up with the try-saving tackle. Been so impressed by the Leeds full-back tonight. Grant Anderson has returned to the fray. And Castleford are over. And it's Grant Anderson who has come back out of the sin bin. First touch, try, 4 points. But I'm afraid, too late.
Consolation try. The replay will show Ford sets it up. Beautiful ball back inside. Anderson in for that try after spending a stint in the sin bin. Lovely play here. Look at the back inside pass. Excellent football there by the number 6, Tony Smith. Taken well, but I'm afraid it's far too late. If only Castleford would have taken their chances earlier in this game. Remember, they had 2 tries disallowed, which I feel were tries, but it wasn't to be.
Martin Kettridge with the goal-kicking responsibilities while Crooks is off, and he hasn't got his sights in either. So Castleford 12, Leeds 21, deep in stoppage time in this match. Leeds' big league season off to a good start. Holroyd gets us underway for what surely must be the closing seconds of this tremendous start to the Stones Bitter season here on Sky. Anderson, the try scorer for Cass.
Been a good workout by both sides. Certainly give both coaches plenty to work with. They know the pluses and the minuses after this game, and I'm afraid there's plenty on both sides. But it's something for them to work on.
Here's Smales. He's had a big second half. He's found John Ray. John Ray well tackled by Fallon. Castleford still coming forward, aren't they? Stedman. Good ball to Fisher. Gets the ball away under pressure. Last tackle. The high kick into the West Yorkshire air, and Tate misses it. First mistake of the night for Tate. 6 more for Castleford in possession with Ray. There's the full-time siren. It's all over. Leeds have picked up their first win on the opening day of the season for 4 years. Castleford, well, they will play a lot worse than this and win, but tonight they came up against an inspired Leeds team, and Alan Tate and Ellery Hanley and Schofield, for me, engineers of a great victory.
They have well and truly beaten Castleford, 21 points to 12. The try from Grant Anderson late on giving the scoreline respectability for Castleford, but Leeds really with that 15-2 lead at half-time had the match won in the opening 40 minutes. But credit Castleford for an encouraging fight back in the second half. Well, certainly one of the players in the Leeds team who caught the eye tonight was Alan Tate, the Great Britain full-back. He's talking now with Bill Arthur.
Alan, that is a wonderful way to start the season, the best possible way.
Yeah, I think we've got to put credit out on our pre-season training with Bob Lanigan, who was across from Australia. We really started off well, you know. You come down to Castleford, it's always going to be hard, but come down here, you get 2 points. You know, it's just as good for the rest of the season.
But to be on your way like you were in the first 20 minutes or so with the tries in the bag, I mean, you must have been kicking yourself.
Yeah, you know, Castleford had a great side and they played some great rugby. Them last tries that they scored, you know, it was pure class. You can't stop them tries. But, you know, early doors, as I said, our pre-season trainings went really well. We've got guys here now that want to play for Leeds, want to win for Leeds and want to win trophies. You know, you could feel it coming on our way out in the bus. You know, you could feel the determination. The lads, great debuts for, you know, young Scotty, Matt Schultz and Neil Harmon, you know, tremendous.
Did you think the lead was in any way at risk when they started to come back at you?
Well, you know, you've always got to be on your guard with Castleford. As I say, they're a great football inside, and to the end they played some great football. But you know, I thought our defence was, you you know, it was really good for the first game of the season. It's going to get stronger as the season goes on.
Well, with Mal really apparently watching, that performance from you won't have done you any harm.
Yeah, well, it's always good, you know, especially if the opposite numbers play against Graham Steadman. I know Graham's a good player, but, you know, if I got the upper hand, well, you know, it isn't fair that the Kiwis are here and I'm looking to be in the tests.
Well, performances like that, he might well be. Alan Tate delighted with the Leeds victory, and they put in a bit of work in the tackling department as well, didn't they? Castleford came out on top in the scrums, though. They had 9 penalties to Leeds' 4. They had far too many handling errors for their coach, John Joyner, and look at the amount of possession that Castleford had in each half. But it was Leeds who made the most of the time that they had the ball in their possession. Another one of the Leeds heroes now, Gary Mercer, again talking to Bill.
Gary, that's a great way for Leeds to start the season.
Yeah, it was a great effort by the guys. I mean, we've had Bob Lanigan over from Australia. He's got us really fit, but it's a long season yet, and that was a good game from the boys, and I think we've still got a lot of work to do.
But to have 3 tries in the bag in, the opening 20 minutes or so, that must have been beyond belief.
Oh, it's great, but I mean, it's the start of the season, you see, so, you know, the boys are fresh as. We've got a long season yet, so we're not keeping our hopes too high.
But a good start is always important, isn't it?
Most important, you know, first 2 points is good, and we got 2 points, and we're going away to Warrington at home, so we should do it right there.
I'm sure he's looking forward to that one against Warrington, Gary Mercer's former club.